first thing I'm starting to do is installing the bottom grill. I just dropped it in, and what we're going to do is line up these screws. I just put them into a container here. They're all the same size, just this bolt. There'll be a nut on the other end that we'll be putting on this side afterwards. Right now we're just at this point, lining all these up. Just get these all in here, and then we'll flip it over and tighten the nuts. Then we'll move on to screwing them into here also. So now we're at the step where we flip it over and you can tighten the nuts onto those bolts. Then you move on to putting the bolt and the nut in here like this. Sorry. You get the idea with that. That'll be tight like that. Then just tighten 6 here and 4 on the bottom. So it's 10 bolts and nuts that you hook on, and then your center bottom grill will be on. Okay, so the center grill is fastened on tightly with those bolts. The next step will be the 2 spots on the edges, the small little grills that will be replacing. If you had the RT bumper, you would have had fog lights. You won't have them no more, but I like the appearance of this. These are going to tuck in on the other side of this. I'll show you that now. Okay, now I'm doing the other side for the grill, the small piece at the corners. Remember, it just matches up with the 4 tabs. The 4 tabs are here. So you line up your 4 tabs. That's what, right there, see? And then once you get the 4 tabs, see how they're lined up? Push down. And it will clip in. There it goes. Not that one though. So you would pop it back out. Line whichever one that's being the problem. Right there. There, now you heard it clip in. See how I had those problems? I'm not going to edit that. So you guys see how it moved around in that, but now you see that it's secure and clipped. The next part is going to be the main clip for the top part of the bumper. That's what will, see how this looks there? Will line up in there. Now, before I recorded this, I had it in, but I missed this clip right here, and I was having troubles with this clip pushing it in, only because it was tucked in behind here. So you have to keep track of all your little pieces or clips that are sticking out. You're gonna have to line it up. I'm gonna start at the corner I had troubles with. I'm gonna clip it in there and make sure this clips. Then it'll be all lined up, and then you follow along. I'm gonna go give it a try again, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, progress report. I got that center grill in. Now, let me do some explaining for that. It can get very frustrating to install, but through trial and error, my wife and I got it in. I would really strongly suggest 2 people for this part. Now, when you're putting this whole black piece in, the top of the grill setting, line it up. Don't start at the corner like I did. You're going to want to center it, and you're going to be dealing with the top part first. See what I mean? That's the bottom of the bumper. Here's your top. See how it is? Just want you to see that. You start in the middle, and where you see the clips pointing up, line them to the holes. Don't clip them in yet. When you get to these two corners, this is where there's issues of getting it in. You don't want to force it in. You'll have troubles. So, what I'm explaining here is, when you do line your the holes up with the clips here, have it just kind of falling in. Don't push down and clip them in yet. Just work one corner. Me, it was this corner I had the problem with over here. So I started here. And I'm just saying, start from the top. It'll get you, that part is easy to get in, and you want to start that, you do that, you're not going to get this piece in. Trust me, I found out. Now, the three pieces is this one, the one over here, and the one over here. I say three, but actually there's four. But you're going to pay attention to get all these cross ones lined up. It's this one that's hiding on you right here. Take your finger, when this black piece isn't in, pull it out a little bit. Pull out the clip on this one a little bit. Not that you break it, just pull it out a little. And then whenever you're lining it all up, it's all lined up, have this one aiming for the hole. As you're holding it, have your wife or friend holding this side and having that one lined up. Because 1, 2, 3, it'll click in, but then you have to push down and it'll all click into this corner, all nice. All right, I don't know if I explained that good, but that's what I'm saying. If you're having troubles getting this clipped in, just remember, you have this one here, your long cross piece ones, but it's this, this, and this you have to pay attention to have it set that it's going to plug in. Once you get this corner put in and you get, just clip two of these, get someone to hold right here. See how I'm holding it? Hold that tight. Because what kept happening is, once I got this side in, you're going to have the force flipping that side up. So you do, once you have that over there, you would have someone holding that piece. Make sure that's all lined up. And just make sure that little orange guy right there, he's hard to see. But just make sure it's sticking out that way. And this one out. And that one out. If the person's holding over there, you'll be able to secure that you see these three tabs lined up in the holes. Then you can grab it and squeeze down. Do not squeeze down if this tab, or this tab is not in. I didn't realize there was this tab. So I had these two tabs in. I couldn't get this to line up to save my life. It didn't look right, so I had to take it all off. I'm trying to save you that time. Just remember the three tabs on both corners. Once you get them clicked in, these will just pop in. So simple. Then you line this up over here, and it's the same type of tabs. But they're already going to be aligned. Just don't go crazy. Just push it down. You'll hear them click in. There was a couple that were pulled out. I just pushed the plastic inwards, and then I heard a click. So it sounds like I'm really stressing on that, but I don't want you to spend time like I did trying to get that on. Once you have that, I'll try to show you without wrecking it. There it is now, like that. You're going to put the center grill in next. So the next part is the upper grill. I have mine clipped in here. It's your pieces that are sticking out, you line them up with the holes. Just make sure, see, this is the way I'm facing right now. I have the front end of the car downwards, but this is the top near the hood, okay? So think of your light. You want this pointing side, see how it's sticking out more? You want that facing downwards towards the bottom of the bumper. That's how I can explain it for you there. See, this is the top. So just make sure the point is facing down, and you just clip down on them. I just gave them like a little punch like that, and they'll pop in. Just make sure they're lined up first. Check that out. Okay, so the important part is starting from these two little holes, clipping to here. Tuck it down underneath. See here, this clip here is going to go in here. This clip and this clip is going to clip in here. This clip over here is going to clip in there. But the important thing is to face it downwards. Aim it like that. See how it's lined up? Now you're going to pull it towards you. Now watch here. This little piece bends. Make sure it's facing up. See how it popped in there? Now it's clicked in. This one is giving trouble now. See how they bend? Now it's clicked in there. There. Now just on this edge, see how that? There it is. That's popped in. Hopefully that helped you. Just start from the bottom, angle it into this little slot, and as you pull it towards you, pull these little nibs towards the hole. They bend and tend to break off, so you have to make sure that they're going to clip in. I'll show you on the other side here. They appear to be broke. I'm going to pop it out and show you what happened on this side. See here, I thought it was broke. I just learned it as we're going along. This got bent in. This one broke off, unfortunately. But you're saving yourself this little clip. So here's an extra for this side. Remember to tuck it in. Aim for the two little holes here on that. Pull up, but make sure, see how it's coming through? There. And now you can line up and it'll all click in. Now this one's in perfect. I know this is broke, but look, that's strong. So just make sure you have these little platoons, whatever you want to call them. Just make sure they're aiming into the hole. Well, we're now in the garage, and we're about to take off the front clip of my Challenger so we can put on the Challenger front clip that I bought from Vicrez. The first few things that you'll want to do is make sure that you properly have it jacked up and on stands. You will have to take off your wheels, of course. I have mine on stands here because you're going to have to reach in to this area here. It's just easier with the tires off. So that's going to be your first thing that you're going to need to do. So the first thing we can do is reach in here. We're going to be pulling off these two pieces. These just unclip. Just like that. I have the hood pins, so it's a little harder to pull it out. But that just comes off like that. I'll leave those to the side for now. On both sides, see how it just flips right up? Then it's going to get you into the opening area. What we're going to have to do is get in here and get a nut off on each side. In there on each end of the bumper. That's what's holding the clip up here in this area. Now the next step is taking out the pins that are holding this inner guard for the wheel well. Yours are going to be different than mine because I originally made mine a wide body on the Scat Pack front end, like the RT front end, but now I'm actually putting on the real wide body front end. So you're going to see a couple things different here, but what I have to explain to you guys is if you have the narrow body, it's just going to be a couple pins that you just pull out, plastics that pull out, and then you're going to get it loose so you can get in here. This now looks different here because of my modification I did for the wide body. But the same thing is going to count for taking it apart, there's going to be a bolt right here that you're going to have to take out automatically. That'll be what you do first. Now that you have this bolt out, it was a 10 millimeter. It came out of right here. Make sure you put it in storage where you're not going to lose it. Now I have this illuminated in here for you to see better. See in there? Let's see if we can. See that bolt? That is straight ahead, right up there. That out. That's going to be a 10 millimeter. But I use a deep socket, and I use some extensions just to get the distance where you have to go. Visualize that. But you get a good light in there, and you'll be able to reach it. It's one of the hard spots to get, but you will get it. So you got to get that one out. The next step while you're in here is your signal light. See in here? See the plug? See the red little pin, push pin there? You gotta flip that up, like lift it up, pull it outwards, and then that'll unclip, and that'll be unhooked. So whenever you take off the bumper, you're not yanking on the wires. The wires that are there are going to be used with your new bumper also, with the signals for the wide body kit. Okay, so now that we have the bolt taken out from inside of here, down here, now we have the third one, which is the easiest way to get this is with one extension, a 10 millimeter, and reaching in through here. I have hood pins, so it's a little harder to get at. But see right in there where that's lined up, right there's a 10 millimeter nut that you have to unscrew. Once you have that unscrewed, there's nothing holding this together, the front clip, anymore. We will have to just do everything on the opposite side, the same as that side. To save on the video here, you guys can just follow through on this side the same as you did on that side. Then we'll proceed to the next step. So now that you have the one 10 millimeter bolt out of here, the one in behind here, which is the nut, just like the other side, taken out, and then the third one was in here, you have that taken out. You're completed on the side for now. The next step is going down below underneath. Now things could be different for you. I have a splitter put on here, so I have some extra screws underneath here, but I believe, from what I remember, it's six screws that you have to take out. One, let's see here, 2, 4, 5. Now the last thing you have to deal with on each side is this plastic piece right here. Mine's been altered because I did the wide body conversion, but for you, if you're narrow body, switching over to the front Hellcat front clip bumper, you're just going to loosen. I remember there's 2 screws underneath, hard to see, but you loosen them and this will just slide out, and once you get it, you will feel this pop out this way. Like, see how it pulls out? It pulls out away from the car. That means there's nothing clipped holding on. See, this is slid forward because the bolts are out here. The next step is moving on to the front underneath. The other thing that changes there, that's different, is that I have a splitter on here. From what I remember, it's 5 screws that you take out underneath. Right here, 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 here. And that should loosen off the front. Once you get those loose, You're gonna pull from the sides and you'll feel it pop out. You'll feel the whole front end loose. See how this is all loose now? This is just hanging on now. What you're gonna need is some good boxes or something to put under here to sit it down on, because there's wires that are going to be attached to this front bumper for the fog lights. You don't want to rip those wires out. We won't be using the fog lights, but you just don't want to be pulling on that. So place some boxes underneath, because whenever you pull this out, you're going to sit it down onto the boxes. Okay, so now I'm going to each side and just pulling out. Like I said, once you have that loose, and you'll pull out from the sides on each side. It loosens. You'll notice everything's loose. Now whenever I lift it, I usually grab from here. I've had the bumper off before. Just be very slow and delicate. See how that just hung off there? It's scary, but just hold here. And the front end is off. Right there. Actually, I can sit it down and go off. Just like that. Now what I was talking about, don't need that box or luggage I was using to hold it down on, was this wire just over here. We're going to move on to this step next to unclip it so we can get that off. Things are getting real now. Look at that. The old front clip is off. There's the Challenger. Looking mean in the front with no front end. Oh, the facelift is happening. So now that we've done the scary part of pulling the bumper off and sitting it down on the ground, we have the wires that goes to the fog lights that have to be unplugged. I found an easy spot. There's actually a clip right here. Just squeeze here and it's going to pop out. Just like that. That's unclip. Now this is all taken off. You can pull that to the side and prep your front end that you ordered from Vicrez. The front clip is off. The one thing that you have to save is the weather stripping right here. See the rubber piece here? That's whenever the hood closes, it keeps water from going in. Keeps water from going in there and that. There's going to be little rivets. See them? Right there. We have to drill them out. I'm just using a normal drill. Just drill bit. I'm going to drill those all out. I'll be right back after doing that. So you just go on top of it, use your drill bit. There you go. Pops right out. We'll do this one too. Hold it the right way. Drill bit's dead. Okay, now that we have the weather stripping off of this area, we're moving on to the two side clips. This piece right here is going to be needed to add it to the clip of the new bumper. Now, same idea. There's a rivet right there and a rivet right there. See both of them? There's two on each one. On this side, there it is right there, and one here. I've taken it out. That's what it's going to look like. then this will just pop out. I'll show you whenever I take the 2 rivets out. See how easy that is? It pops right out. Okay, let's get the other one down here. There it is. They both popped out. Now, what I did on the other side, I've already popped it out and placed it back in just to show. But after that, you just pull here. See this clip? I pulled forward. Sorry. See this? You push. There, it lets go. You're gonna see a little bit of rubber silicone in that. You just I'll hold this like this and we'll just pull away here. Okay. See? There it is. Gotta get rough, but it's off. I did the same on the other side. So you have to do that on each side, then you're gonna attach that to your new bumper. Just like this one over here. This one will pull right off because I already unclipped it out of there. Just like that. So make sure you save these 2 parts. These 2 plus the weather stripping. Okay, so we now have the left and right side of these out. I tested it and tucked it in through the holes and I got it in there. I see 2 spots to put your rivets if you want to. I'm going to. As you can see, it's just as you aim it up. I only have one hand right now, so I can't really show perfectly. But what I did is I tucked that in first. Once that slides into this area, this will line up into this hole. This will line up into this hole like that. Then what happens is this piece of plastic right here, it's like a clip. When this gets flushed down on it, right here on this edge, it clips in. I can show you on the other side. Right there. You can see how it's clipped in. This is not going anywhere. Not moving at all. So the next step is to put it in on this side. Like I said, tucking it in, clipping it in. Just don't have 2 hands right now to show it as I do it. Okay, I might GoPro set up. Maybe I can show you the way I have this set up. So what you're doing here is getting that in there first. See? Seems rough, but it's tucked in there now. Let me just adjust. See? Now that pops in there. This all slides in here. Now you can see that it wants to push down and clip. Now the clip is right here. Right there. So what you're going to do is just push in towards it till it clips itself. I had to do a little pushing, but it will go. There. Push that in more. Get that lined up first, then push down. See how it's slowly? There it is. It popped in. There we go. I don't even believe you need the rivets for that. Look at that. That's tight. Okay, so that's both sides clipped in. I can show you the other side. Here, that's in there snug. The next step will be fitting in the little trim that we had to protect from water coming in. Earlier I had you take that off of your other front clip. We're going to be tucking it in here, and we will be using a riveter to rivet it in. So for the next step, you're going to need a rivet gun. You can get those at your hardware store. You can even order it off of Vicrez. It comes with the rivets. What's really happening with the rivet gun is this gets placed into the slot right in here. And whenever you squeeze, it pulls this through here, and it comes in like inside out actually. Pulls that inside out and it tightens. This will be the top. All of that will be tucked in behind, and that's what holds your little weather stripping piece that we're going to be put in. So what I will be doing is just placing this in like that. Whenever I explain to line it up to the hole, you're going to hold it flush with the hole, keep it straight, and then you just squeeze. It's usually light, not hard. You just squeeze, it'll pull it right up, and then then this pin will fall out, and then you're done. You just move on to the next hole. So that's explaining the rivet gun. Yeah, this is the living room. Nothing like having car parts everywhere. Alright, this step has to do with putting the bottom shroud splitter on. I have mine on here. I'm going to show you how to do that. You just line it up. It's better to show while it's on. See this, how it clips? There's a clip here. Clip there. It's actually a clip all the way along the bottom of it. So you line it up to the front of the bumper and just line up the holes on the splitter to the screw holes that's on the bumper. See here? And as you push it in, you line it up. This will clip in, and to guide it, there's these two little flaps that stick out. We'll line it up perfectly right here and right here. So you just slide it on. You won't be doing anything up here. Just leave that loose. So you just slide it on, clip it in, let it slide into these slots, line it up. And what I did is I started at the center with the bolts, with the bolt and the nut, the center, and then I just work my way. Just make sure it's pushed in, clipped in, and that's it. You just line it up, and that part will be done. Now for the front bumper, I ordered from American Brothers Designs. I'll put the link on after this video. I also have a 10% discount code to share. For the wide bodies, Challengers, the emblems are larger, plus I want to get them in custom weight, and American Brother Designs does that. They also have the, I'll call it a clip, I think it's called something clamp, but this is used to go into the grill. So what it is, it's just a bolt and a nut. And what you would do is you just take the nut off. This is the backing for in behind the grill. This is the front. This is just an example here. See how it will fit through? Then you'd put this on the opposite side with the nuts. And then you would just screw it into the nut. You'd have someone holding the nut on that side with a wrench. And then you screw it in into the proper location. You can adjust it up and down. And then what you do is you just peel off the 3M tape. I have one ready to show you the example. This is already in here, the Challenger one. It's fastened down. All you do is pull the sticker off. Of course that would happen. Yeah. Well, you know, it sticks really good. Meanwhile, a few hours later, we go. 6 days later, we have it. So you would just line it up and stick it on to the bracket. Just like that. And that's it. Your emblem's installed. There we go. I can check that out. Now we're at the step where we have to take off the plastic piece on the front of the inside of the bumper. This piece is going to be coming off right there. So from what I see is it's going to be the clips on the top. Okay, here we are at the front, working on the plastic now. See under here? We have 2 bolts, one here, and at the other end. I'm using a half on this one for the socket. I'll get those off. Then I believe the plastic just clips off. Oh, I figured out how to get this plastic piece off. This is what we do have to take off, but we have to get this off first. I thought these 2 screws and the nuts underneath were going to loosen this all pulled together, but as I loosened it, I couldn't get the bolt. This bolt, see how I can lift it up and out? Well, this was way over it and I couldn't figure out how to get it. The logic said you gotta unclip it. So as you can see here, now that I have it unclipped, there's 2 clips here, 2 clips here. You got 2 clips there, and your 2 clips here. You can see them from the inside over here. You just put your light in through there, right? In there, and you'll see the clips. Right now you don't, because I popped them out, but you'll see them. I only have 2 more to unpop, and that'll be off. Then I'm going to move on to taking these bolts off. Then everything in the front will be ready and secure for the new bumper to go on. Okay, I got the brackets off. The bracket was on there pretty tight. You need a 13mm socket, and I use my brake bar because yeah, it's hard to get off. You need the brake bar, the torque to get it off. Then you just put a wrench on the other end. I just unscrewed it once it was loosened off. I'm just putting the 2 bolts back in this in case I need it down the road, but yeah, that's pretty well it for having it cleaned up for putting on the wide body front end clip. So whenever you get the side pieces in, then you're going to work up here. I had to do my hood pin pieces. I just had to unscrew that and feed the line through, tuck it through the grill, and then line it up, put it back in. Then I completed putting all the pins in here. You have to do a little pushing forward of the bumper to get that lined up. The next part will be doing the sides, completing the total clipping of it, like that. This side I have a little more adjustment to do. Right here, see here, it's a little, there's a space. I'm gonna have to 3M tape that really good. But yeah, that's the only spot that I have to work on. Then we'll be moving on to the bottom piece. Goes across the bottom.